Okay. So it's 11:21, and I'm gonna get this quick and over with. Y'all know what this is? It's right before the games. So first game, Tampa versus Carolina. I'm betting Tampa's gonna try to bounce back, and who is that? Carolina's gonna have to try to bounce back too, but CMC's hurt, so you're gonna have a problem with that. They're gonna be able to spread the ball around, not a big deal. So I would take Tampa in this game, but this might be a close game and not like a high scoring game because when you think about it, the Carolina receivers and even with Christian McCaffrey hurt, Mike Davis is still playing good ball. So they probably try to slow the game down. Their defense can't keep up with Tampa's offense. So the best way to do that is to slow it down. Even though Tampa's got one of the best defenses in the league, and if they shut down that run game, it's over. I take Tampa. Um, it's going to be difficult to see who gets off now because of you ain't got to be like that. you know, uh, it'll be difficult to see who gets off between the receivers now with Evans, Godwin, and Brown. So it's kind of like a pick 'em with the receivers. You know, and the irony of it is the red zone targets might go more so to Brown and Gronk than anything. But I'm taking Tampa in that scenario, right? I'm taking Tampa in that scenario. Now we got the Texans at at Cleveland. Nick Chubb is healthy. He's playing today. So guess what's about to happen? They're about to beat the brakes off the Texans. It's not going to be close. It's not, you know, uh, and that offense has been stagnant since Nick Chubb's been down. They have their moments. Kareem Hunt is good, but he's not Nick Chubb. So I expect a big game from Nick Chubb coming fresh out of this thing. Deshaun Watson's going to try to keep up. I expect he's going to fight to keep up because Baker Mayfield is just, you know. But because Chubb is back, play action is going to be in play. Jarvis Landry might get off in this game. Between Jarvis Landry and Joku, I forgot the other tight end, you know, um, they can actually do a lot of damage. I expect Myles Garrett to be able to rush the quarterback, but Deshaun Watson is a slippery quarterback. So at some point, I'm taking the Browns. Plus, they should be colder, and the Houston team, cold weather, they don't really show up like that all the time. They start fast and then fizzle out. Wayman was popping. Geek was happening. So we got that issue, right? You know, man, I forget Buffalo, Wayman. uh, we got Washington at Detroit. I'm guessing that Washington is still starting Kyle Allen. If that's the case, they're gonna lose to Detroit. You know. What? Take that back. Alex Smith is starting today, so I guess they're gonna lose to Detroit. I don't think Washington is gonna go any positive direction until they put Dwayne Haskins back in. I know they give all these reasons to bench him indefinitely, but they're doing better with him than without him. So I just think this is gonna be another game that they lose. Terry McLaurin's been balling no matter who's throwing him the ball, so I expect him to get off. Gibson, maybe not, depending on the day. Um, what's up, NC? I think Galladay gonna be interesting. You know, Josh Norman is out with COVID, so that's what happened to your Bills. But we'll get into that in a minute. But I'm taking Detroit, over Washington. Jacksonville, well, hold up. Let me get back. Galladay could possibly do something. Jones is getting better. Some people like TJ Hawkinson as a tight end in that mix. I could see that. Swift, I don't think the running game is going to be as dominant, you know, because to be perfectly honest, Washington got a defense, and that's not going to change in the next few years without, barring injury. So that's a whole nother problem. Now you got Jacksonville at Green Bay. Listen, I don't know what Jacksonville going to do to make this game competitive, but it's going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry, Frank. It's just they need to just wind up starting Dwayne Haskins. They really do. They might as well. They'd have been probably first in the division if they had did that by now, because the NFC least sucks. He's out today again. Jesus Christ. Where's my other phone? You know what? Let me see who's out. What's up, man? Let me see who's out again. Because whatchamacallit, Chubb just got put in yesterday as healthy. So Jesus. Let me pop this in. And if anybody didn't see the fight last night, you know, it was some serious things. Okay. Inactive reports for week 10. So now we're gonna get to this right now. Because they getting on my nerves with this. Yeah, Bud was he was off the charts with that. I don't know what happened to whatchamacallit. I really don't know what happened to Kale. He's more special than that. But Green Bay, Jacksonville, I'm gonna skip to that real quick. Green Bay, Jacksonville is gonna be a complete utter ass kicking. I don't know what to tell people. I mean, it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be close. They're in Lambeau. Um, they 1-7 versus 6-2. They got nobody to stop anybody. Which is a whole nother problem because people don't realize this. Um, Jacksonville has a 28th ranked rush defense, 20th against the pass. You already know. Oh wow, what? The Lakers got Schroeder. That's interesting. You know, so Aaron Rodgers is gonna throw on him, but Aaron Jones is gonna get off. I hate to say that. He's probably gonna get off. James Robinson has been doing this thing for Jacksonville. Shark showed up last week. The question is he gonna have a great back half of the season? Like last year, he had a great front half of the season. Um, I don't think this game is gonna be competitive. I could be wrong, but I'm taking Green Bay for sure. Aaron Rodgers is gonna get off. Devontae Adams probably gonna score him a touchdown or two. But I think this is gonna be a bad look for Jacksonville fans. Now, getting to the next squad, which is Philly versus the Giants. I gotta take Philly, and the problem with that is the Giants are getting competitive. They're lovable losers, but they're getting competitive. So this might be closer than people give them credit for. This could actually be a game that could go either way. The Giants won last week versus Washington, and I look at it like, man, that's going to be interesting. But Carson Wentz has still been sucking, but he ain't really had no help. So that's a whole nother story. That offense and all the hurt players on it, that creates a whole nother set of problems with Carson Wentz. So they got a better team overall, though. So I'm gonna take Philly. Evan Ingram might show up, he might not. Ever since Odell left, the receivers I'm tripping on defense. I'm thinking about offensive stats instead of defensive stats. I'm bugging. But I'm thinking about at the end of the day, what's gonna wind up happening is, how can I put this properly? Line and wide receiver back, about doggone time. I was trying to look at who was inactive today just now. Oh shoot. Hold up. Da. Okay. They're not showing me that part. But Danny Dimes gonna be all right, but he's not gonna do much. It is what it is. They getting their receivers back. That's a good thing. They gonna definitely be in the head of that one. But I don't. I just don't. I don't see the Giants beating the Eagles right now. And Miles Sanders. Yeah, 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 okay. It's probably over there. It's probably over there. You know, their defense always gives up certain things, but yeah, when fantasy wise, I think Evan Ingram might be your best option. Sanders, I don't know so much, but that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll take the Eagles. Chargers at Miami. Miami surprised me last week, but I'm taking the Chargers. You know, I said last week that the Chargers are lovable losers. They're competitive, but they just can't get over the hump. I think this week they get over the hump in Miami. I think this week, you know, Justin Hubert is killing as a rookie quarterback. I think he has the better team, better receivers, better defense. Well, I can't say better defense because Miami and the Chargers are what and what when it comes to defense. But I think he has a better propensity to get off. So Keenan Allen's, Mike Williams, their running game, their running backs, ever since Eckler went down, it's just been like, yeah, one day is good, one day is bad. You know, Miami, their whole run game has been banged up. You know, Breda, Jordan Howard, Gaskins. You know, I think Grant got hurt last week with the receivers, and so Devontae Parker and Gesicki is really your options. I think the Chargers could slow that down. So, you know, Tua's gonna have to have a coming out party game to win. That's what I look at it like. But that defense is gonna cause some problems on both sides of the ball. You know, but I'm taking the Chargers on that one. Buffalo and Arizona. Jesus Christ. So I was saying that Josh Allen was not playing like MVP caliber person as he was at the beginning of the year. And last week he showed up. And the defense showed up and is getting better. Now, them playing Arizona, Josh Norman is out. A few other people are out with COVID. I think a safety. The question is, who would you take in a head-to-head matchup? Josh Allen or Kyler Murray right now? Right now, Kyler Murray cooking. Now, people don't say this about Kyler Murray, but truth is, for the most part, he's been touchdown, interception, touchdown, interception. That's actually what he's been doing. But he'll run another, but he might get 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a rushing touchdown. But he's actually not been turning the ball over as much as he did early in the season. So if he limits the turnovers, I think Arizona's going to win. But I think this is going to be a shootout. Stephon Diggs gonna have a thing. Kenyon Drake is back. He hasn't been really, Kyler Murray has been kind of like the running quarterback or whatever. I think D-Hop gonna get off. I think Diggs gonna get off. The unsung hero about this is what will John Brown do? Because when Smoke plays, it's a problem because he can stretch the field like that. Not a big deal at all. Not very easy for him to do. So who's ever covering John Brown, that's if they get toasted, Buffalo gonna take that game. But in my opinion, right now, I would take how Kyler Murray's operating over how Josh Allen's operating. Even though Josh Allen is he cooking again too. Because last week he really showed up. But Singletary, the issue, truth be told, the issue is leaning towards Buffalo to win. And the reason I say that is because Arizona don't have a pass rush. That's Arizona's big problem. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's going to keep Josh Allen in the pocket or, it's going to help him run more. Like, I would personally try to keep him in the pocket because he can be consistent 1 minute and inconsistent the next. But I'm gonna lean towards Arizona. Denver versus Christian Kirk. He all right. He all right. He coming along. He coming along. It took him a minute. I can tell you that. Denver at the Raiders. Man, the Raiders have been looking great. Denver up and down. Denver up and down. To the point that I like Drew Lock. I like Denver's defense. But now that they got Philip Lindsay back with Melvin Gordon, they don't know what they want to do running the ball. And the Raiders know exactly what they want to do. So I don't know who's going to be getting off in the backfield for the Raiders. I mean, not for the Raiders, but for the Broncos. But at the same time, I know Josh Jacobs going to be there. I know Derek Carr is going to protect the football. I know they're going to make their share of good plays. So I would take the Raiders in a competitive game, but we're going to see. If they can run the ball with both running backs, if the Broncos can, they'll win the game. But I don't think they're going to let either person get into a rhythm or rhythm as far as they both competing with their runs. I don't think they're going to let them do it. So it's going to be a problem. And besides Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos receivers, has been coming up short. Noah Fant's been doing nice, but he got hurt. But he showed up last week, but he got hurt again. So I don't know if the tight end situation is going to be like either, which is problematic. So I'll take the Raiders. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I don't know what happened to the Steelers last week, but whatever. The boxing podcast is Cheap Seats Boxing Show. It's on you can find it pretty much if you Google it, Apple, iTunes, Windows, I want to say Spotify. It's on a lot of different platforms. I just uploaded the day before the fight, actually, like Friday night. So that's what it is, Supreme. So now we got, the Steelers. I don't know how the hell Big Ben is back from COVID just like that. I don't see that because he was, he's supposed to have COVID. He's supposed to not make the game COVID. Now he cleared. I don't know how the hell that happened. But I like Joe Burrow. I think it's going to be offensively. I don't think Cincinnati's going to win this game, period. But I think this is going to show you how good Joe Burrow can be in the future. Their receiving core is going to be interesting. I think the irony is I think Cincinnati might put up at least 21. And I think when it comes to the Steelers, they know they can't come out like they came out last week against the Cowboys. That was just dumb. That was trifling. That was bad, a whole bad game. If they show up like that again, they're going to get beat. Because Cincinnati's better than Dallas. So if they show up flat like that, it's going to be a problem. Appreciate it, Supreme. Cortez, what's happening? Last week was a fluke. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. The Saints just got the Buccaneers number, man. Don't get mad at that player. As far as I think Pittsburgh, I don't know what they're doing with John Connor because it's like they putting Snell in more. The receiving thing, sometimes it's Claypool, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's, they spread the ball around. So the offense, you don't necessarily know who's going to get off. But in Cincinnati, could be Higgins, could be Boyd. I really think they're just moving on from A.J. Green and not interjecting him into the offense. So I don't think he's going to do much. But he could possibly. But I just don't see it. So I got to take those towels. You know what I'm saying? And that defense is a mother. Now you got San Francisco at New Orleans. I think it's a revenge game from last year. And New Orleans has just as good of a game this week as they did last week. Because with Michael Thomas back, that's a problem. That's a problem. Nobody's liking Jimmy G and how how can I say this? How the 49er offense isn't popping right. Emmanuel Sanders, I think, is back. You got and how Emmanuel Sanders is back. It's gonna be a problem. What's up, Raiders? So to me, that's going to be a problem also. You see how Alvin Kamara is just Alvin Kamara. That's a whole nother thing. Until the 49ers get their all their running backs back healthy, they're going to have an issue. They're doing better, but they're going to have an issue. I think the defense is getting a little bit more healthy, but I just don't think they have what it takes right now. Kittle is Kittle. To me, he's the best in the game, but that's just my opinion. But I think the Saints gonna wind up beating the brakes off of the Niners for losing to them last year. Now, what's gonna be interesting is this Seattle and Rams game, which personally, boy, I want to see the matchup with DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey. It's gonna be a lot of trash talking. It's gonna be physical. It's gonna be disrespectful. It's gonna get ugly. That's where that game is really set up at. That's where that game is. DK Metcalf give it to Jalen Ramsey is over. It's over. Now I'm already taking Seattle to win, but you're gonna see two dogs going at it on that one. As far as the Rams running game, you don't know who's going to be the running back. It's going to be Akers? Is it going to be Brown? I think Brown's back. Henderson, like you don't know who's going to run the ball. Same thing with Seattle. You don't know who's going to run the ball. Carson or I think Penny's still hurt. And what's the guy's name? Carlos Hyde. And the Texans should have never got rid of Carlos Hyde. They're paying for that right now. But Lockett, like Seattle's got everything in their favor in this game. I don't think Seattle's been the same ever since they tried to get rid of Todd Gurley, and you see they're paying for it ever since. So at the end of the day, so I got to take the Rams, Baltimore, and New England. My God, personally, it's no way that the Patriots should even be in this game. No way. They, like Aretha Franklin, ain't not yeah, Aretha Franklin, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But New England's defense is better than people get him credit for. And I hate to say this. I'm taking Baltimore, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots upset them tonight. I would not be surprised. I think Sonny Michel is back, I believe. I know he was getting close to getting off of IR. I don't know if they actually activated him for this game. If they did, because he practiced earlier this week. You know what I'm saying? He practiced earlier this week. But if he ain't playing, then he ain't playing. But their running game, that's the only way the Patriots can win. The receivers ain't gonna do a doggone thing. Tight ends ain't gonna do nothing. Cam gonna have to be Cam the running back too. It's not gonna be pretty. If the game stays ugly, because it's an actual game that's built for both teams, where it's just a run heavy game. Two run heavy teams with two quarterbacks that can run. So it's going to be a slow game. Like I said, I'm taking Baltimore, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots upset because I don't see this as a fast-paced game. And they're going to kind of keep them in the game by being a slower-paced game. Now you got Monday night, the Vikings and the Bears. Look, man. The Vikings look like they trying to make a run. And the Bears look like, I don't know how you keep winning, but you falling apart. One thing Dalvin Cook is probably going to get off again. Not like he got off in the last two games, but he's going to get off in some way. Thielen and Jefferson, they are problems. Jefferson more so than Thielen nowadays. Kirk Cousins, Patriots sometimes they rush defense. They got all them 9 players that didn't want to play for the Patriots messed them up. But it's the scheme that I'm tripping about, Mac. Because the league has caught on to the scheme that the Ravens do running the ball. That's what I'm saying it's going to be slow. But to the Minnesota Bears game, David Montgomery is not going to be playing, which and Cordero Patterson is about to be the running back. And to be perfectly honest, this is going to be what was going to shock people. I think Cordero Patterson going to get over 100 yards rushing because I think he's a better running back at this point than, and he's not even a running back, he's a receiver than David Montgomery, because David Montgomery, that blocking for David Montgomery is just trash. Plus the fact that they don't, you know, the offensive line don't open holes. So the only way you're going to get Cordero Patterson to run the ball is you're going to off tackle, sweep, swing, you know what I'm saying, screen type of game. And I think that's set up for him to get off, especially because the Minnesota defense ain't what it used to be. I don't know what the hell Nick Foles and them doing. I really don't. That offense is just garbage. Just in my opinion, it's just garbage. But defensively, I think that the Bears defense could do enough to keep them ahead to win the game. That's what I think. That Bears defense can do enough because they're active, man. They get at it. But I'm not going to be surprised if they get some big plays. And like I said before, Jimmy Graham on a low is having a Pro Bowl season. Like, he's like a red zone target machine. Him and Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson getting off too. Like, those two players are underrated in the NFC for their output this season. They really doing their thing. So to me, I got to take the Bears. Like, if anybody could upset somebody, truth be told, if I just make up upsets in my what man, Indigenous, they ain't gonna the Jets are a mess, man. If I could think of people who could possibly upset some of the picks that I made, I could see Carolina being an upset. I wouldn't take them like that, but I could see that being an upset. I could see the Giants being an upset. Like I said, I would take them. Miami's been on a tear. I could see that. I could see them winning, even though I took Chargers and the Chargers actually being upset. I could see Buffalo beating Arizona, which would be an upset. I just ain't taking them. And I could see New England beating Baltimore. Other than that, I can't see it. I just can't see it. But that's my NFL picks and predictions today, fellas. So let's get this thing popping. We got 10 minutes for kickoff. I'm thinking I need to get some wings. We'll figure that out. Peace.